So here's the context. I think that's what Mr. Long said in one slide, right? China exports, by export in China constitutes about 30% of gross domestic product. US businesses make $2.1 trillion in revenue abroad. Germany exports more than a third of its national output. And companies, we know that companies that export grow faster and are less likely to get out of business. So, translation is a legal or consumer requirement for organizations that go global, right? You cannot sell your product, your Chinese product in Germany if you do not translate the user manual, the repair manual, your marketing material, and so on. So for me, the business case is closed, right? So we can all go home now. Translation is important, we know that now, and everybody should buy our services. Why is it then that as localization and language services providers, we struggle to getting that recognition and we struggle to find those clients? And what I'm submitting to you today is probably your message. So what you will learn today is that people do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it, right? People buy from other people who believe in what they themselves believe. Why you never want to compete on price, and how to position yourself and your organization for premium pricing. So here's a former chancellor of my home country, of the original home country, Willy Brandt, who said, if I'm selling to you, I speak your language. If I'm buying, dann müssen Sie Deutsch sprechen, meaning you need to speak German. That statement is not longer true. Because we all here in China don't speak English, right? And we all do business together. So there has always been, in human civilization, there has been a common language that people spoke for business. Oops. So what I think is, that statement should now be, if I'm buying, you will need to believe what I believe. What I mean with it? Here's an example. I receive those letters from Chinese companies almost like 2 times or 3 times a day, or a week, right? And it basically says, thank you for accepting my invitation in LinkedIn, we are an LSP in China, we hire native translators, we have strictest quality control, and we have the lowest prices. Right? So the way I read it is, well, first of all, you're connected with me on LinkedIn right now. You should know my name. Then we have the same, I call it blah, 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 blah. Right? So I can go to every web page of every localization services provider, not just in China, but worldwide. And the key message is always, we work with native speakers, we have strictest quality control, we have 5,000 pre-qualified translators, and by the way, we are also affordable. And then you state, you want to have a business relationship with me. No, you want my money. You don't have a relationship. You don't talk about me even once. So, and coincidentally, I, as Andrew Lawless, do not believe in cheap labor in localization. I believe that localization is valuable and it should have that price. I believe in the value of localization professionals that fully use the power of technology. Localization providers that can use translation technology and make their work as effective, fast, and good as they possibly can. So here are some other things that I value about LSPs. On the global, scalable, socially conscious, detail-oriented, data-driven, transparent, service-oriented, and so on. None of those terms I find in any of your marketing material. When I talk to my clients, they will tell you, I want reports from my services provider. How much did I spend? What are the quality ratings? I want you to be on budget, on time. I want you to be socially conscious. Give back to the community. If you want to do business in Germany, do something in Germany, right? For the community there as well. So, a lot of my message actually is not mine. It's from Simon Sinek, and you can actually check him out. I checked it. You can access it from China. It's like at TED.com. look for his name, and you will find a number of his presentations, very inspiring, and you get it directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And he says, people buy from you not because you sell what they need, but why you do it. I'll give you an example with Apple. Apple, why is Apple so successful globally? Why is Apple more successful than anybody else? Well, after all, Apple is, a computer company, right? They have the same knowledge as everybody else. They have the same talent as everybody else. They have the same consultants as everybody else. They have the same vendors as everybody else. And they use the same media to promote themselves and market it. So why are they better than anybody else? And it's in the messaging, right? So most of us, we communicate what we do. We very well know what we do. Some of us know how we do it and how we differ from others. Almost nobody speaks about why you're doing it. Look at Apple. Here's like what every computer company says, right? We make great computers. We use up-to-date components, and we price it so that for your budget or your needs. And do you want to buy it? Right? So what Apple says, they reverse that argument. They start with the why. They go and say, everything we do challenges the industries that we're in. We do that by making products beautifully, simple to use, and user-friendly. And we have just happened to make good computers, laptops, tablets, phones, and so on. Want to buy one? Totally different message. And apart from that, Apple has all of these attributes that I personally value. They have more, but those are the ones that I personally value. And they communicate that not just in writing, but with everything they do. And I bought an Apple computer, I think the most expensive that you can buy. Right? I could probably get 3 great Windows computers for that do the same. But I just look at the keyboard and I'm like, ugh. Right? So I believe in Apple products, and I believe for what they stand. So people do not buy what you do, they do why you do it. Success does not come from selling what you have, but from doing business with people that believe what you believe. This is one thing that I want you to take home today. That's the message. And I have an explanation for that in biology, not in psychology, in biology. If you take a cross-section of your brain, it has three parts. It has the neocortex. The neocortex is where your language is. That's where you reason. Right? The limbic system and the reptilian brain have no language. That's where your emotions are. That's where love is, where hate is, where sadness is, where happiness is. That's there. The reptilian brain is where your fundamental needs are, like for eating. And that's the same layer. So you have the what, the why, and the how. So when you communicate on the how and the why, you communicate at a level that we all understand regardless of our cultural context. Because we do all have the same emotions, we all have the same basic needs. Here's another letter, I received that yesterday actually. Same message from a different company. We are an LSP, we are using in-house translators, we have strict quality control, and by the way, we're cheap. So here's how so what they write is that we translate cheap, we're using only native speakers, and strict quality control. Want to buy it? That's not going to sell. So here's an alternative, what they could have written. I'm not saying that's the message that everybody needs to write, because we all have our own reason why we do things. Why are you in translation? When many people say, I do it because I want to make money. That is an outcome. It's not a motivator. That should not be the main motivator why you're so excited about your job or what you do. They could have said, we believe in a strong Chinese market. We are therefore committed to helping foreign investors succeed in it. And we have to establish their business, protect their intellectual property and their trademarks. And we do so by translating technical, legal, and financial information. Can we help? Totally different message. People buy from people who believe in what they themselves believe. If I believe in a stronger China and you believe it, I will probably at least talk to you. So here's a member organization. Our industry has a number of member organizations, right? Local, every country has one. Sometimes many regions we have one. We have nationals, we have like multinational member organizations, international, and so on. So here's what they say. They say, they start with the what. We represent localization service companies by raising awareness, influencing policy, certification programs, conferences, and so on. Because we want localization to be recognized as a respected industry. Want to pay member dues? Want to become a member? So what they could say, but they started with the why, and that's why I love to work with tech, translation of China so much. Tech, and we saw that with Mr. Long's presentation this morning. They start with the why. Pang Zhangji always, when I talk to her, she always starts with the why are we doing this? And I applaud her for that approach. And what tech basically says is, localization is the most effective revenue driver for business. It enables foreign investment in our country, so we need to support it and we need to do everything we can to be for them to be more successful. We create heroes in international businesses that increase bottom lines through localization, that have an impact. And we do that by training them, by giving conferences, by delivering direct member services, and we collaborate with industry, academia, and other organizations. And this forum today is a testimony of the brilliance of that approach. Do you want to be part of it? Hell yeah, I do. How about you? All right? Different messaging. People buy from people who believe in what they themselves believe. Many of us here, Ulrich and Hans, and we come over here from the US, not because there's a huge business opportunity for us here today, but because we believe in what you believe. So in my own industry, the typical consultant says, we provide localization technology consulting. Well, we are veteran in the industry, and we work with you online and offline or on site. Well, that's because that's kind of what we know. Want to hire us? So my company has a different message, for example. We start with the why. We start with you personally deserve recognition on top of your organization. So when we would talk about clients, I'm not talking about Waters, Agilent, Amway, VeriSign, whatever. I talk about Babs and Laura and George that are my clients, and I make them successful. And we do that by helping you to increase profits from localization for your company, decrease total cost of ownership for your program, and scale operations with technology. That's what your CEO wants to hear. We want profits, lower cost, and we want to be scalable. And we do that by consulting and training for you, your team, your stakeholders. Do you want to meet our customers? If you want to. And you can do that. And here we come to the messaging, being consistent with everything you do. You can go to my website, and the first thing you see is webinars with clients, partners, and friends that are buyers, that share the same values, they believe in what I believe, and they take out the time to share with you their case studies, their experience, what they're struggling with, where they need help, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. You will not find on my homepage a single word about Rockend. You get there, right away you get value right away for free. We do a lot of other things. We give free webinars. We give online seminars, many of them for free. We give joint presentations. Usually, most of the time, I ask my clients to present. It's a stronger message when my client says, Andrew did this, or Rockend did that for us, than me coming on stage and saying, I'm the greatest, work with my team. But more important, we want that client to be the hero. It's all about the client. You might ask, where's the money, Andrew? You give all this for free, right? Well, my philosophy is that even if you never buy from me, ever, I want you to go home, I want you to talk to your colleagues, and I want you to say, I've listened to Andrew, I talked to Andrew, and the advice that I got from him was invaluable for my personal success. So when they come now, there's the question about pricing, right? That's probably what you. So once you have your message and they come, now you need to set a price. And the most common mistake that I see with localization service providers is you try to be the cheapest. And there's a lot of pressure from organizations to do that, from some buyers. But the fact is, the more you charge, the more people respect you. The more you charge, the more people respect you. If they don't pay what you're worth, you may not want to be in the business relationship. Price shoppers have no loyalty. If it's for price, I do one for the other. I do that with the rental cars, right? I just rent a car from a company that has the best deal. Price shoppers are difficult to satisfy. They will always whine and complain and etc. Lowering being the cheapest also is the fastest way to kill your profits and your business. Someone will always come cheaper. And you've seen that with just the two messages that I received in the last week. One quoted 6 cents, the other one quoted 5 cents per word. And I'm like, you don't even know my content. You don't know the complexity of my terminology, the complexity of my documents, and you're quoting already the lowest price that you can get. Price makes the statement. You pay what you get what you pay for, and the best customers will not purchase the lowest offer. I manage a lot of procurement processes for $1 billion plus clients, Fortune 500 companies. Not once has the cheapest bidder won. Here's another good resource for you, Marie Folio, my business coach. A lot of what you hear from me is actually her teachings. And she puts it right. And then put yourself into your, remember when you have an apartment, a house, and your toilet is broke, right? That something needs to be repaired. How often have you said, if only I would find a contractor who shows up on time, takes off his shoes, doesn't smell, does his job right, right? Gives me a little bit of attention, listens, does the job. If I would find that person, I would pay a premium. If you're a localization services provider and you're a project manager, you find that translator who is nice, who is always available, who is affordable, who is reliable, you will not give that name to your best friend. Right? You will make sure that you will take the relationship and you're willing to pay more because you know if that person gives me that document, I don't need to worry about QAing it. I don't need to worry about a client yelling at me. Right? I don't need to burden my operations with like fixing it. Right? You pay more if you have that translator. But don't take my messaging and then I see that on every website tomorrow, right? It's not about what I write. It's about what you believe, why you do it. It's about you. I just want it as an inspiration, as a guide to craft your messaging. So don't be a copycat. You can do it, but I don't mind. But people, you will lose your authenticity. Find solution for your customers' biggest pains. Right? Biggest pain is usually not cost. It's quality, it's satisfying the region, it's some technical solution, communication, working together with your team. Look outside the industry to innovate your business. I looked at the training, my company started out as a pure consulting company, and then I looked at the training industry, some online training and instructional design to change my consulting process. And I have a process and my approach, and all of that comes actually from training, and then eventually we added training to it. Go the extra mile in customer service. When you pick up the phone, have somebody there who speaks English. Have somebody who says, hello, my name is Andrew Lawless with Rockend. How can I help? Don't go like, Lawless, Rockend, right? So it's an attitude. And always remember, it's about people and relationships. It's also about processes and handles, but it's primarily about people and relationships. And if you find, we had a conversation earlier with Weiwei, saying, when you find a good relationship, when you find a good person, you will hold on to that relationship for the rest of your life. Don't negotiate down fees. Do not negotiate down fees. Instead, offer extra products, services, or time instead. Very important, especially for smaller LSP, go 100% pro. Be professional with everything that you do. No junky email addresses. If you look at the list of attendees, you see things like lotusflower@126.com. Can't do that. You have to have a professional email address. No crappy websites. Somebody goes to your website, that's the first impression that you have, right? And when you do some research these days, websites are simple, flat, and responsive. No unreliable voicemail. I have that so often. I call somebody, voicemail goes on, I want to leave a message, and then it says, I'm sorry, the voicemail of that subscriber is already full. Right? So, can't do that. And no do-it-yourself business cards. Invest in a designer to have like your business card designed to look professional. Very important, because that's your core business. Don't sacrifice translation quality or customer service. And exercise extreme kindness, and that's probably the most important message here. When you look at my example, when you look at Marie Forleo, for example, you can go to those websites and you get a lot of value for free right away. A lot. And we are very generous with it. Right? Because we want you to do better. We truly believe in our hearts that it's about you, we want you to be successful. And we give it to you as much as we can. Do the same, provide free content. Make it consistent. Don't write an email, send an email out today, and then I don't hear from you 3 months later, send another one. Have a plan. With me, like every Tuesday, you get an email and it has something actionable in it. And that's what, make it actionable. Don't tell them how great you are. Tell them what they can do to address their pains. And lastly, and that's why you're also here, associate with people that believe what your customers believe. If you associate yourself with people that believe what your customers believe, they will believe what you believe. And you will be able to reach out to them, right? You have to be genuine about it. That's why the why is so important. Why are you doing it? You can go to couch to 100k.com. It's a new program that we're going to roll out early next year. It's a training program for localization professionals that work either virtual or want to start their own business or freelance or business from their couch, and how to make 100,000 per year. So go there. When you go there right now, you click, there's a download button, you click on it, you will get instant access to the entire presentation. It will look a little bit different. The presentation that here has some other slides in it. And you can connect social media, become part of the mailing list, and then the next email you get is on Tuesday. Really happy to be at Localization World in Dublin. You will know where you can go to have a beer, a dinner, or meet your clients. Thank you very much.